The Sleepy Bunny. Once upon a time, there was a sleepy little bunny. He brushed his teeth and put on his pajamas. He said, "Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, mama." And he curled up in his soft bed and fell fast asleep. Sweet dreams, little bunny. We share English bedtime stories every week. Subscribe to join us.
チャンネル登録お願いします。
Little Star's Journey. High in the sky, a little star began to shine. She wanted to see the world, so she floated down. She saw the oceans, the forests, and even a sleeping baby. The little star said, "Good night, baby," and floated back to the sky. She twinkled gently as the world slept. Bear and the Nightlight. Bear was afraid of the dark. He asked his friend Owl, "What if I can't see?" Owl gave him a glowing nightlight. Bear smiled, curled up, and said, "Thank you, Owl. Good night." With the warm light beside him, Bear wasn't scared anymore. Milo the Moon Mouse. Milo was a tiny mouse who lived inside the moon. Every night, he peeked out of his moon crater and watched Earth sparkle. "I wonder what stars feel like," he whispered one night. He tiptoed across moon rocks and touched a glowing star shard. It didn't burn, it tickled. He danced with it, glowing just like the stars above. When it was time to sleep, he curled up inside the moon, holding the warm light. And from then on, he wasn't just a mouse, he was a moonlight explorer. Nia and the Dream Cloud. Nia couldn't sleep. Her room was too quiet, and her thoughts were too loud. Then, a soft silver cloud floated through her window. "Climb on," it whispered. "Let's visit your dreams." She flew over oceans, danced on jellyfish, and slid down rainbow slides. In a sky castle, she found her worries tucked inside a tiny teacup. She smiled, waved goodbye, and let them drift away. When the cloud brought her home, Nia yawned, her heart lighter. She fell asleep before her head touched the pillow. Tama the Sleepy Turtle. Tama the turtle always took her time, even at bedtime. She brushed each tooth slowly, one by one. She picked her favorite pajamas, blue ones with tiny waves. Then she drank a warm cup of seaweed tea and hummed her lullaby. Outside, the stars blinked sleepily, just like her. She tucked in her flippers and sighed, "Good night, world." The ocean rocked her gently like a cradle. And before long, Tama was dreaming of floating clouds and soft coral beds. Luna the Little Duck. Luna was a little duck who didn't look like the others. Her feathers were gray, her wings a little small. She waddled alone and watched her reflection in the pond. full moon, she saw a soft white glow in the water. It was her, shimmering with new feathers. The swans nearby didn't laugh. They welcomed her gently. Luna had grown into herself, just in time for spring. She no longer needed to fit in. She had found her own light. Coco and the Ladybug Parade. Coco the kitten loved chasing bugs, but one day the bugs invited her to watch instead. "Tomorrow is the Ladybug Parade," they whispered. Coco waited all day, curled up in the grass. As the sun set, red and black spots filled the air like confetti. Tiny ladybugs marched in lines, carrying flower petals and leaves. Coco didn't chase them. She smiled and purred. Some magic is quiet, and some moments are best enjoyed still. She watched until the last little dot faded into the stars. Ollie the octopus finds a beat. Ollie had 8 arms and no idea what to do with them. The other sea creatures swam in smooth lines, danced in circles. But Ollie tangled himself up every time. One day he tapped on a shell, then another, then another. Bum, 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 went his rhythm. The fish stopped to listen. The crabs clapped their claws. Ollie had made a beat, all on his own. He might not dance like others, but he had music in his tentacles. Owen the Owl's Night School. Owen the Owl opened his tiny night school deep in the forest. He wore little glasses and perched on a smooth branch as the stars came out. "Class is open," he hooted softly. A squirrel, a fox, and a sleepy raccoon all tiptoed in. "Why do stars twinkle?" the squirrel asked. Owen smiled. "They're sending light through the dancing air." The fox wondered, "Why do leaves make sounds at night?" "Because the wind tells them stories," said Owen, turning a glowing book. The raccoon yawned. "What's a dream made of?" Owen tucked a leaf blanket around them. "A dream is a wish you remember while you sleep." The forest quieted. One by one, the animals nodded off. Owen gently closed his book and whispered, "Good night, little learners." Ellie the elephant's sleepy reign. Ellie was a gentle elephant who loved bedtime more than anything, but lately she had trouble falling asleep. "I miss the sound of rain," she whispered, gazing at the dry savannah. So she made her own nighttime music. She tapped her feet gently on the soft earth. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter. She flapped her big ears slowly. Swish, swish. The giraffes stopped munching and listened. Even the baby zebras lay down and closed their eyes. Ellie kept going until clouds slowly rolled in above. A tiny drizzle fell across her back like a blanket. She curled her trunk into a pillow and sighed happily. Outside, the raindrops whispered lullabies to the animals below. Inside her heart, Ellie felt warm, safe, and sleepy again. Finn the Frog and the Moon's Secret. Finn the Frog had only ever seen the moon from his pond. Each night, he croaked at it. "Hello, big light." One evening, he noticed something strange. The moon was floating in the water. Excited, he leapt from lily pad to lily pad, trying to reach it. Splash! The moon disappeared. He blinked. Where did it go? He sat quietly, and there it was again, round and glowing. Finn tried again. Splash! Gone once more. He finally stopped and sat still. The moon stayed. It smiled back in the pond. Finn realized the moon's secret. It's only with calm water that you can truly see it. He let out a soft croak and floated gently on his pad. I don't need to catch it, he whispered, just to enjoy it. And with that, Finn fell asleep under the real moon above. The Tale of the Three Little Birds. Once upon a time, a girl wandered into a quiet forest. She was tired, cold, and very hungry. In the trees above, 3 little birds watched her carefully. One chirped, "She looks lost." The second said, "She needs help." The third whispered, "Let's guide her." The girl followed their melody through the forest. Soon, she found a small cottage with light in the window. But the birds warned her gently, "Not everything that glows is kind." She listened and waited by the trees instead. In the morning, sunlight led her safely home. She never forgot the song of the 3 little birds. Nara, the Fawn, and the Forest Moon. Nara, the baby deer, had never seen the moon before. She stayed close to her mother, sleeping under the trees each night. But one evening, she woke up alone. The forest was dark and quiet. Nara looked up, and there it was. A big, glowing moon smiling through the trees. She stepped into the clearing, following its soft light. The moonlight gently lit the moss, the trees, and her little hooves. An owl blinked at her. A fox nodded hello. No one made a sound, but Nara didn't feel scared anymore. She whispered, "You stayed with me." The moon didn't speak, but it shimmered just for her. Nara curled under a tall tree, the moon watching gently above. She slept peacefully, wrapped in silver light. Pico and the Wind's Secret. Pico was a tiny sparrow with very fast wings. She loved flying fast, zooming past trees, racing the wind. But one day, everything stopped. The wind was still. The sky was quiet. Pico perched on a branch and waited. "Why aren't you blowing today?" she asked softly. The wind whispered back, "Even wind needs rest sometimes." Pico stayed very still. She heard new sounds, the hush of the leaves, the rhythm of her tiny heart. She closed her eyes and breathed in the silence. When the wind finally returned, it was gentle. She opened her wings, not to race, but to float. She had learned how beautiful stillness could be.